Joining me now is author and political commentator Shemeka Michelle. Shemeka, thanks so much for joining me. I saw you on social media this week on Jason Whitlock's show, and I got up and I had to applaud. You just lit it on fire with all this CRT crap. You spoke about refusing to let your kids be indoctrinated in school. It was so inspirational. Tell us your take on it, please.
You know, Dan, I just thought it was very insincere when I saw talking heads such as Joy Reid and even Whoopi Dumpty, who sat on The View, being very condescending to parents and saying, oh, it's not CRT, and laughing about it and, you know, trying to say that parents were uneducated when they know damn well it's not about the title, it's about the content that's being taught to children. And no parent in their right mind, black or white, wants their child taught foolishness. I do not want my black child thinking that she's not going to make it because she's black. What does her skin color have to do with how much work or her academic success? What does that have to do with anything? So of course I don't want my black child taught that, and parents don't want their white children taught that they're privileged just because of their skin color. And listen, Dan, I understand both sides of the coin. You know, they say they just want stuff like slavery taught with truth. I understand that because I've seen it not taught with truth. My same child came home that I was talking about in the video in middle school with some work that said the Africans came across on slave ships with apartments, not compartments, apartments, and said that they were fed pork and yams and something else. And I thought to myself, they're making slavery sound like, you know, they were celebrating Thanksgiving on a Carnival cruise ship. That's not true. But also I saw work that said, imagine you were a slave. How would you feel? Draw what your day would look like. Why should my young child who would never ever be a slave have to imagine if she was a slave? We have entire spirituality courses around imagining. If you've ever listened to Abraham Hicks or Neville Goddard, they talk about imagining, and the feeling is the secret. The Bible even says to speak those things that are not as though they were. So why would I want my young child to imagine being something negative and being in a negative place that she'll never ever experience? What do you say to that white child? Imagine that you're a slave owner. Why are we doing this to children? This has nothing to do with 2 + 2 = 4. This is foolishness. Come in, do what you're supposed to do as a teacher, and then allow me to give my child context or let my child, you know, help her figure out how she's to feel about this. The issue is that we have too many mentally ill teachers in the classroom, and they're trying to push that type of foolishness on our children. And when people say, oh, this is a white supremacy coming out of a black face, listen, if selling out means that I don't want my child taught that she's inferior, if selling out means that I don't want my child taught that she's oppressed because of her skin color, then guess what? 55, who got 60, 60, who got 65, 65. I'm going to sell you out each and every time because my child is not inferior. And I believe that in order to believe in white supremacy, you have to believe in black inferiority. And my black skin is not inferior or makes me inferior to anybody.
Gosh, I love you. Shemeka Michelle, I am unfortunately out of time. I could do an entire show with you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I needed that.
And you know this, man. If I said it, I meant it. Bite my tongue for no one.